All right, everybody, we're back. So we got the blog set up. We've got the custom theme installed here, and like I said, if you didn't pick up this theme, I mean you're free to use a generic theme. But when it comes to adding in the AdSense stuff, which we're going to do in a later video, you're kind of going to be on your own with that because it's going to take some programming to get that in there. Otherwise, maybe you can hire someone to do it for you, but. So otherwise, that's really the only difference in what we're doing here. So we've got that set up. Now we need to get some followers. Now I just kind of want to show you how this works. So underneath posts here, a little tab will pop up once we have followers that says followers, and it'll say how many followers we have. Right here shows how many people we're following. So by default, we're following one person, which is the staff. So I want to show you how we're going to go about getting followers. So typically, here's what I do. I go up here to the search thing, and let me point out one more thing. If you remember from the earlier videos, we said that a good way to get and keep followers is number one, posting good content, and number two, posting it frequently and consistently on a schedule, and then number three was to follow people, because on Tumblr, people you follow, typically it's considered polite to follow back. So let me go over the rules of following people first, and we'll go through that, and I'll show you a good way to do that. When you follow people, you're allowed to follow up to 200 people per day. Now, I know that kind of sounds like a lot and like a lot of work, but it's really, really not that much work, and I'm going to show you just how quickly we can get it done here. In addition to that, Tumblr has placed limits on these accounts now that you can only follow up to 5,000 people per account. So, eventually, once you get to there, you'll have to come in here and start unfollowing people, and then once you unfollow them, you start refollowing new people again. So, not a big deal. I just want to make you aware of that. So, all right, let's jump into it and let's start following some people and show you how we get this blog off the ground. So, I normally go in here and type in my keyword. So I'll just do fashion, and let me show you how posts work. So posts that show up here, they have like a number of things. So this is the person that created the post. If we wanted to follow them, we could click this little plus sign, and bam, we follow them. Okay, right here where you see this little 67 number, this is what's called notes. Now, notes are all the people who have liked this post, commented on this post, and reblogged this post. Okay, so let me show you what that looks like. If we hit this little 67 thing and scroll down now, it created a little drop down, and it showed this user is reblogged, this user is like this user is reblogged. Okay, so you get the point. So those are called notes, and they're basically just social features of what people have done. Okay, if we click this one, this allows us to reblog the post. So we don't always have to just go and find new content from other places, although we want to do that a lot, but we want to reblog too. And reblogging basically just means we're going to take this post and put it on our site, on our blog. But what happens is people can see that we reblog this from them. So you'll see when it comes to the monetization thing, we're going to want to have our own blog post. But when we're just trying to get followers, reblogging is fine for some of them. So that's a good way to post content and keep your users, happy with constant content coming in. So here's typically what I like to do. When you start following people, I'm going to open this up in a new tab. On your dashboard, it starts to show the posts that they've posted. Now you can see here, it shows, since we followed this person, everything that they put up is going to display on our dashboard now. So what I do is I like to start following some people in the fashion niche, and then as they post stuff, I like to click on their notes, which is right here, and then I like to follow everyone who's commented or reblogged that, because it's pretty probable that they have an interest in fashion as well. So I typically just go through to start it and type in fashion like this, and I start by just following everyone on this first page. So follow them, I'll follow them, follow them. Okay, so this is pretty targeted, but we can get even more targeted. So if you were in a sub niche of watches, you could, you know, follow everyone who commented or liked a post about watches. So this is one way to get followers and to, you know, follow people, they'll follow you back. Typically I see about, you know, about a quarter to 1/3 of people you follow will follow you back. So, you know, if you've got let's say, you know, 1,000 people that you followed, you know, about 250 to 350 of them will follow you back. So really just it's right around that number, sometimes a little more, sometimes a little less. So that's kind of how that works. All right, so I followed quite a bit of people on here. Now let's go to the home page and see if my blog roll is updated. So yeah, it has. So what I try to do now is I try to come through here and I try to find posts related to fashion that have a lot of notes. So you can see this one only has 662, which is actually still a lot. This one has 1,008. So I'm going to click on these notes. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click, open link in new tab. Right click, open link in new tab over each user, okay? So I just do this, you know, fill up my browser tabs up there and do this a few times. You know, about 15 times I do it. 10 or 15 times. All right, and then here's what I do. I go to each tab, I hit follow, go to the next tab, hit follow, so on and so forth. So, I mean, you can see what sounds like a lot of work really doesn't take too long. If I don't see the follow link, I just move on. Sometimes you won't always see it on there. Most of the time you will, though. But some people make it hidden, so nothing you can do about that. All right, so you can see I just followed about 10 people, you know, in a matter of seconds. So it really doesn't take that long. And I would guess that, you know, maybe sometime in the future they would have bots to automate this. I don't know whether I'll be in favor of those bots or not, you know, because I don't want to get accounts banned. We're working really hard to get this built up, and, you know, right now I'm fine with just doing this by hand because it doesn't take that much time. As you can see, I'm getting a nice start to this blog already. And we'll see if any of these converted into followers right away. Might be too early to tell yet, but it's possible that they might have. Sometimes the follow thing will show up on the bottom like that. So this is the last one I'm going to do on camera, just because I don't want to take up too much of your time. But at the same time, I do want you to see me going through the process exactly how I do it. So this is the most efficient way I found to do it so far. All right, so let's scroll up to the top. I'm going to refresh my dashboard here. All right, so look, we followed 33 blogs now in a matter of, you know, a couple minutes. So you can see doing 200 of those a day isn't going to take very long at all. All right, so I said the next part of it was posting content often so that we keep our followers engaged. So let me show you a pretty cool feature that Tumblr has. And what it does is it allows you to upload content in a queue. Okay, so I'm going to open this up, go to weheartit.com, and let me show you how this works. The first thing we want to do is we want to go into our settings and tweak a few settings before we do this. So we're going to go to the blog here, the blog settings. I like to let people ask questions, and I like them to allow anonymous questions. And that's because this counts as content. When they ask questions and you answer back anonymously, it goes as a blog post. Okay, so I like that. Right here, here's the queue. Queue, automatically publish queued post. I always go the maximum, 50 times a day. Okay, so we save that setting. And what that means is, I'll show you what it means. We'll demonstrate it so that there's no confusion here. I'm going back to my dashboard. Let's see, I got a message here. This is just an automated thing that comes on after you turn on that anonymous question thing. Alright, so coming back to my dashboard here, and let's go and add some pictures. So I'm in the fashion niche, so here's a picture of, I don't know, let's see, here's a flower dress. So I'm going to open this up. I'm going to copy the link location. As soon as I get off of this pop-up ad. Alright, copy image location, we're going to go back here. We're going to go to the photo setting. You remember we already did this once before. We're going to use URL instead. I'm going to paste in that URL there. Content source is right over here. We want to paste that URL there as well. Enter some tags. Alright, cool. And that's it. Oh, actually one thing. We're going to add it to the queue. So up here, this drop-down menu, we're going to click Add to Queue. Alright, and we'll hit Queue Post. Alright, that's one content added. Now we're going to go back to weheartit.com or wherever else you're getting your pictures from. And let's find another one. You know, you can really use pretty much almost anything because there's so much content. So copy image location, photo, and let's see, use URL instead. Again, I don't want to bore you too much with this stuff, but I just want you to see how I do this and make sure that you understand how to do it. Content source, it's going in there too. Let's do some tags. Pink dress, blue dress, pink nail polish, fashion. Alright, we're going to add this to the queue. So what happens is we add a bunch of this content in. We do it all at one time, so it saves us some time. And, you know, throughout the day, Tumblr is going to go and automatically queue this up for us. It'll automatically post it for us 50 times per day. So that's a really awesome feature that Tumblr already has built in and is really cool. So I'm going to go ahead and finish out this by finish following the rest of my 200 people for the day. I'm also going to load up my queue with a bunch of content. And the last thing I want to show you before I turn this video off is how to reblog. So let's say I'm on my dashboard here and someone posts a picture I want to reblog. So yeah, this might be good to reblog for my followers. So what you do is you just come up here, hit the little, it's like a little arrow in a circle, reblog icon, hit that. And we're going to add it to the queue again. I always add everything to the queue. And we don't have to do a content source because when we reblog this, it's automatically going to show who we reblogged it from. All we have to do is enter in the tag. So clothes, rack of clothes maybe, fashion. Alright, so that's it. And we hit the queue post again. So what happens when you create your own content versus creating content or reblogging content is your own content will go viral like that, because when you post stuff from like We Heart It and you post it up here yourself, people start to reblog your post and it creates a snowball effect. So someone will say, oh, this was reblogged from them, I'm going to follow them because this was a cool post that they put up. So that's kind of the way it works. That's how everything goes. I'm going to go ahead, like I said, finish out this by following the rest of my 200 followers for the day. And I'll update you, maybe tomorrow on what's been done here. And we'll talk further probably about monetizing and start adding in our AdSense ads and monetizing everything. But this is the basis to getting everything going. So, all right, that's it for this video, and I'll see you in the next module.